So before we get started, let's check some of the settings and make sure you have them set correctly. There are many videos out there explaining the Blackmagic camera app in detail, and some great ones from Blackmagic themselves amongst many. I'm going to show you the basic setup to make sure you're good to go shooting on your iPhone Pro 15 or 16 Pro. So first of all, you need to make sure that your settings are correct by hitting the settings button. So let's hit the settings button, and then you'll see on top you have record. The codec I'm using is ProRes 422, but you can also use HEVC or H.265. For internal recording, I would recommend using HEVC. It's a great codec, it's 10-bit, and our LUTs work seamlessly with both codecs. If you're recording externally, then for sure ProRes 422. Second is the resolution. 4K is pretty standard. I use 4K. Color space. This is important. Make sure your color space is set to Apple Log HDR. Then you go to the rest, which we're not going to talk about. It's pretty much set as it was. The next is camera. I just have enable vertical video on. Then audio. Audio is self-explanatory. The audio source I have at the moment is iPhone microphone, but you can add others and so on and so on. Monitor. Now this is important. If you're shooting externally to an SSD drive, then you need to go to HDMI out and make sure that your video feed is switched, not mirror display. Video feed is the clean feed that you need in order to record to an external drive. Then media. Media also is important. Save clips to in-app only. If you click that, you have the option in-app and photo library and files. And files is where you would have your drive. Now LUTs. And here's where you'll find your LUTs. I have the No ND filter auto shutter pack installed, which comes with all the LUT packs and also sold separately, because a lot of the times I do not have my filter with me, and that gives me the option to at least see what it's going to look like. And you can also bake that image in, but I wouldn't recommend that. But there is an option for that. And the rest is pretty self-explanatory, and as I mentioned, there are many videos out there that go into detail about the different aspects of shooting with Blackmagic camera app. It's a great app and it's free. So let's take a look at the UI, the user interface of the Blackmagic camera app, and your best settings to get the most out of Simple LUTs. And in particular, a new update, which means the shutter measurement is now available as an angle, which is way better, because many times you'll forget to change either the frame rate or your shutter speed, and this does it for you. As soon as you change your frame rate, your shutter speed is automatically adjusted accordingly. A great addition, and used on all the top cinema cameras found on the market today. Your next best friend is your zebra meters, and by clicking the zebra button on the right hand side and adjusting your zebras to 75%, you can be assured that when you're filming in log and you start to see the stripes appear, you will not clip your whites and you will always be exposed properly. As well as that, you also have a middle grey button, and by pressing that, and if you are using a grey card and you start to see the stripes appear, then you know you are exposed properly for middle grey. And our LUTs for the iPhone 15 and 16 Pro are calibrated for middle grey. The next thing on your list is making sure your ISO is set to the lowest, and then white balance is locked at 5600 Kelvin. And if your padlock is unchecked, scroll to 5600 Kelvin and then click lock, and your padlock will go blue and you are locked, and it is set and forget. The next and final piece of advice is adjusting or making sure that your tint is set to 0. And again, scroll to 0, make sure the padlock is locked on 0, and you are good to go. So just to recap on what you've learned, Remember to set your zebras to 75%, lock your white balance to 5600 Kelvin, lock your tint to 0, and let your footage shine. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments, and if this helped, hit like and subscribe for more pro iPhone filmmaking tips. Now, get out there and shoot with confidence.